Hello and welcome to another video. Today I just finished this game. It was a pretty good one, if I do say so myself. Um, on Arena, I am playing as the Burgundians in blue, and we've got Gooksoof in red as the Turks. And I see he's Turks, and the first thing I say is, "Don't FIMP me, bro." Because Turks are known for FIMP. That's like pretty much their only play. They could also do like a castle drop with Janissaries and Castle Age, but usually they go fast Imperial into hand cannons and bombard cannons, and it's really hard to deal with. It's annoying. It happens a lot, and to get past this elo, you have to figure out a way to defeat it. Um, little did I know at the time, I actually had messed up my build. I've got 7 villagers on sheep over here, which means I'm going to be done with my sheep early, which is throwing my build off here. And rather than adapt, I tried to just like get back on track with my normal build. So I have some idle time with these villagers. They're just going to sit under the TC while this one goes to grab the boar. So oops on my part. Um, Looking at the map, what really sucks about the 1v1 arena generation is a lot of times you don't get a good solid wood line in your base. So this is pretty much the only decent wood I have in my base, and I would quickly open that up if I were to cut it. So I went all the way back into this cubby to do it. This is another attempted cubby, but it's open, so I'd have to close that off first. Um, I actually told him, I was like, damn, I really messed up my build. Because, well, I mean, I did. Um, Spot me a couple minutes on your FIMP. So I'm trying to converse with him. He's not having anything to do with it, but, um, you know, I'm kind of teasing him knowing that he's probably going to FIMP me. But also, I really did mess up my build. I'm only just now getting my first deer. This boar is going to be done well before this lady's ready to grab the next one, which is hiding behind the wall here. So yeah, my build is a little messed up, but I think one moral to this story is you can mess up your build, and it's really not the end of the world. Again, I got idle villagers waiting for the next boar. You know, is that efficient? No, not at all. Is it going to cost me some time? Nah, a few seconds maybe. In the end, the castle time is actually not that bad. I do have these 2 more deer to deal with. He's got a little idle villagers as well. He hasn't even gone to berries yet. I think he's going out for his boar again, or his second boar. Let's go a little quicker. Get to the action here. Let's see what he sees. Yeah, so he's just now seeing that where my base is. It's an odd thing that the scouts do these days, which is he's trying to go in here, but he's blocked by the wall, so he just goes a few tiles and then headbutts the wall. If I were to notice that, I could have sent my scout out there to attack it and would have gotten a pretty good advantage there, but happens to me a lot. People go out and attack mine when mine's doing that. But alas, I didn't see it. I was focusing on getting my build back together. I am on my way up to Feudal Age. I'm getting my eco upgrades, which as Burgundians I get access to 1 age earlier. I should have gotten the lumber upgrade before. I mean, probably 2 minutes earlier than I did. I normally would, but alas, I messed up again. He's still not up to Feudal Age, which will become apparent to me soon, which will confirm for me the FIMP. Unless, I guess it's possible that he could be feigning a FIMP and using his slow uptime to make me think he's going to FIMP, because I already told him I'm expecting it. But yeah, I'm pretty much expecting it. The Turks don't have a whole lot of other plays. If he drops a castle on me, I'm not too terribly worried about it. Building my buildings to go up. Meanwhile, he's still in Dark Age. He hasn't even clicked to Feudal Age. Um, that's not obvious to me just yet. I don't know that he hasn't clicked, but I am going to go ahead and make my initial houses over here to sort of block this off and use this as a second TC area. That's my thought process. TC on the wood there. He's finally clicked up to Feudal Age. I'm already clicked up to Castle Age. Typically, to combat the FIMP, the hand cannons are a problem, so people tend to go with skirmishers, which are the counter to the hand cannons. But in my opinion, the skirms just die to the bombard cannons. The bombards behind the hand cannons just get good splashes on the skirms, and it's hard to deal with. Um, there's my scout doing the headbutt thing, and I think, yeah, he doesn't take advantage of it, thankfully. Alright, so he gets to feudal about the same time I get to castle, and that's when I'm pretty confident. Okay, yeah, he's fimping. I've already made a barracks that allows me to build a stable or an archery range. I've got the second town center going up, and now I'm making stables. So that's my play against the FIMP here. Turks do not get pikemen, so the only thing they have is spearmen, and honestly, spearmen with knights, or especially with Burgundians who can get the Cavalier upgrade in, and I'm already getting it, in Castle Age, spearmen are just trash. They're not gonna really slow down the Cavalier. So I'm not worried about his response unless he were to go camels. But that would take an entire tech switch on his part, and with the FIMP, you don't have the eco for that kind of thing. He's gotten to Castle Age. He's building an archery range and a monastery. So this isn't your typical FIMP build. There's the Siege Workshop. Okay. But he does have the resources, so as soon as this Siege Workshop goes up, he can click to Imperial. And he does. So he's on his way up. He'll have a pretty good time. Our scouts are just kind of hanging out over here. I don't think either one of us noticed that. Now he notices. Or do we both notice? I don't know. But I'm taking the brunt end of that engagement. But so one thing here is I've actually already got husbandry from the stable, which makes my scouts, all my cavalry move faster. And so if he was paying attention to this, he would notice that my scout is actually like getting away from his. So I'm able to run away and avoid this fight and save my scout. If he noticed that, he would realize I'm going cav. And there, I managed to save the scout. I haven't actually made any yet, but I have gotten a bunch of upgrades. I haven't gotten the armor and attack upgrades yet, but my goal right now is to get as much of a boom as I can. As soon as I see the imp hit, I know he's going to be making hand cannons, and that's probably when I should start spamming the cavalry as my response. I am going back out to get another view of his base because I haven't seen anything to confirm the FIMP yet other than the timings, which are telling me that slow advance to feudal age, the slow castle age means he's probably following that up with a fast imperial age. So I'm just trying to get one more pass across the front of his base to see what I can see. And this is when I see 2 archery ranges and a siege workshop, and he arrives at imperial age, and I'm like, okay, confirmed. Archery ranges, siege workshop. This is going to be hand cannons and bombard cannons. He's already making bombard cannons. Turks do not have to make a university and click chemistry and wait for that to upgrade or to research before they start making these gunpowder units. It's just done automatically for free when you get to imp. So that's why people like to go FIMP as Turks. So now I'm starting to make the Cavalier. I've got a pretty solid eco. I've got 59 villagers. He's only got 37 because he's still just one town center here. So I should be able to start, you know, getting good production out of this. I am gonna go ahead and make an archery range. This was a last second decision on my part to say, okay, well, let me at least get a few skirmishers out there. Uh, so I will do that. I've got two archery ranges and two stables planned. That's my main approach to this. I am going to let him go ahead and take the initiative, bring the army out into a position where I can fully engage with it, and hopefully push it back. So here he comes. Let me put the fog of war on because I don't see that just yet. But I am sending this scout back out here. I'm actually intentionally sending this out here just to see what I can see. And he immediately kills it. And I see that he's got a bunch of hand cannons with them bombard cannons behind it. So 12 hand cannons, 2 bombard cannons. It's gonna be a pretty solid attack coming in here. So I'm just starting to make the skirmishers, getting the upgrades on my cavalry. He's already knocking at my door. He's saying, let me in, let me in. I've got a bunch of gunpowder for you. I'm still making Cavalier, trying my hardest. I'm literally just, dumping all my resources that I can into this production because when I finally take this fight, I want it to be a fight I can win. I'm retreating these villagers, the stone villagers and the gold villagers, because I have just enough for a castle, which I want to get just so I have access to some technologies and units. Meanwhile, let me pause this for just a second. Let's go back to his view, see what he sees. So notice that I put the stables and the archery ranges at the back. I think this is another key here. If you put those at the front, the first thing he's going to do is train those bombard cannons right on your production buildings. Then all of a sudden, you're like, well, I can't make skirmishers anymore. I don't have any archery ranges. Because they'll go down in like 3 shots. So it's important to put them behind here. But another reason is it hides what I'm doing. So he doesn't know I'm going cavalry. He has literally nothing coming through here that's going to kill cavalry. So he just has to rely on pure numbers. Like, I've got a boatload of hand cannons. Hopefully you don't have a boatload of cavalry. But he's got 15 hand cannons. I've got 16 cavalier and 5 skirms. So at this point, I should be able to take this fight. So we'll go ahead and run the game again to see how this goes. Go back to his view. So I show him the skirms first, and he runs. He's like, oh shit, skirms. But now, here I come with the cav. I actually split them up. He's trying to focus fire the cav. And if he focus fires like that, yeah, he can kill them. But I send some of them over here to grab the bombards. And then the rest can deal with the hand cannons. Well, the skirms were handling those pretty well. He was running away from the skirms, so he was obviously scared of them. Little did he know I only had 5. He could have killed those pretty good, or pretty easy. Now he's retreating, and I'm coming back out here looking for, what can I do here to push back. So that was really good. A really good fight here. I came out ahead on this for sure. I still have 9 Cavalier. I still have the 5 skirms. In fact, I've upgraded them to Elite Skirm now, and I've got 12 of them. So if you bring hand cannons at me again, you're not going to get very far with that. He's still making hand cannons, though. So still putting the pedal to the metal on the hand cannons. I'm actually starting to think he might not keep going hand cannons. He might have seen enough cav to know that he should make a switch to camels. So I actually go ahead and think about making a switch to skirmishers. I do start making petards as well because I know right now he's kind of reeling. So he's trying to rebuild his army. He has basically no eco. 42 villagers. I'm up to 83. I'm double his villagers, and my villagers are, working hard, getting me that food and gold income. Um, we got the same number on gold. Actually, wish I had more on gold, to be honest. I was running low, but here's where I start to make some barracks because I'm thinking, okay, by the time I actually get these petards over here to break in, he'll probably have some camels. In which case, these cavalier. Honestly, the cavalier probably do okay. Camels technically counter, but not a hard counter as long as I have enough. But I've stopped making them. I forgot to keep making them. But they definitely counter the skirms, which I do have a lot of. 13 of them. So the thought process here is I need to get in there quick. I need to get damage done to his eco, make him think, wow, I really, not only did I lose my fight, I lost my entire first wave of army, but now I'm losing my eco as well. Really dispirit him and make him want to end the game. That's the goal here. Unfortunately, the timing of these petards is so slow. It's been probably 3 minutes now since since his army got killed. And I'm so worried about the camels. I'm making 3 more barracks to deal with that. I am moving forward to see what he's going with, and this is when I see, okay, he's still making a lot of hand cannons. So I don't see a camel switch coming. And that's when I should have stopped making the barracks. But unfortunately, I didn't make that second step here. But that was the point of that move. It did show me the information that I wanted. So let's see what he sees here. I am trying to get my petards in position. They're clumsy, slow. They bump on each other. Got the skirms in here as well. But I stopped making production. So I'm finally starting to produce again, but it's taking a little bit. Now my petards go in naked. I don't actually remember to bring the army with them. So he just lost his gate, and honestly, he may not have even noticed. When the petards come in like that, you hear the attack noise, but they're dead by the time you see them. Okay, he did notice. Okay, he tried to replace that with a palisade gate. So now I'm up in his eco. He's not going to have the 42 or 44 villagers for much longer. They're certainly not going to be working. So we'll see what I can do with this. And he's got to delete a house to get his army back over here. That's funny. It's actually really funny. Oh, see, I got the university, but I never got ballistics. So these skirms are attacking these spears, not getting a single hit. And that's when I realize it too, and I went and get it, but it's too late. Look at all those skirms. They're supposed to counter the hand cannons, but when they're throwing their spears at a spearman, they're not gonna counter those hand cannons. He is building this gate. I'm trying to kill it. Oh, he opens it. Oh, he opens it. Okay, I did see that he opened it. So his eco is fully stalled right now. He's got 2 villagers over here on wood. He's got 1 on gold. 2 on wood, 1 on gold. So he's not getting much done right now, but he does have a big army. That's 25 hand cannons, and unfortunately for me, I've lost most of this attack already. So, and I'm going to lose this as well. So at this point, I have to think about, okay, well, I don't have enough army to continue this attack now that the hand cannons have showed up. And I am making those pikemen, which, I went over here and scouted that he was not going camels, so I really should have invested these, the resources, the wood and food that go into these pikes. Should have invested that into skirms, especially now that I have ballistics. The skirms actually do well against spearmen in addition to the hand cannons, so the skirms would really kill everything if I could just mass them. Speaking of mass them, I have made a couple more archery ranges. I did put them on the front. because I was wanting to get them to the fight quicker. Unfortunately, the fight is coming to me faster than I can mass. So, gonna have to back up a little more. I do take advantage of the fact those hand cannons were trying to attack the pikemen. Trying to get a decent engagement out here. These cav are actually going in for the bombard cannons, which is the point of me continuing to make them. They do, if they go in one at a time, they do die to these hand cannons. And you can see here, he's using the bombards to try to get splashes on my skirms, and trying to protect against that as much as I can. Ooh, okay, another one. Oh, that sucks. Anyways, this is a lot of hand cannons. 22 hand cannons. He does have spearmen, but again, I'm not really worried about that. It's the hand cannons and the bombard cannons that are the problem, and I'm really trying to get my units, or my good melee damage attack units, around onto the bombards, which maybe I'll finally get the kill here. Oh, so close. So close. This bombard cannon has 4 HP. I really should probably just take it out with these skirms. Instead, they're going to die to it. Okay, so now I'm realizing, okay, he's approaching on my production buildings. I need to retreat, send these units back into the base, make some production buildings inside the base. I did make a monastery thinking I could heal some of those knights I had earlier, the cavalier. But let's just look how fast these buildings go down to the bombards. I don't really mind that he's taken down my barracks. That was a terrible idea. Well, it wasn't a terrible idea. It didn't materialize. It wasn't necessary in retrospect. So that's fine. Taking down these archer ranges. I did stop producing out of this one because if I did, with the gather point over here, they'd probably just let the next round of army in. Trying desperately to mass. We'll see again what he can see. He does not see yet. Now he sees that I do have another archer range in there. But he does not see that I have all my army basically gathering, waiting for another big fight. A big fight that, well, honestly, we had in my base earlier. My TC is still on fire from the fight earlier. He got it down to, maybe a third of HP. He's still open. I could actually send Cab back into his base. I don't realize that. He's back up to 46 villagers. I'm at 108, so this is a full boom economy at this point. Even though I've only had 2 TCs. I end up deleting one of these houses, realizing he has not taken advantage of the fact that I'm open over there, so I'm going to make some production buildings over there as well. He's cleared up all the production buildings I had here, including this archery range that I tried to make. Still making more in the back, and now he's threatening to come back in. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so he's got 29 hand cannons, 2 bombard cannons. Probably could afford to have a few more of those. And now is when he sees, okay, that's a lot of skirms. Oh, there's cav too. Oh no. Unfortunately, these cav, they're not getting... I've tried to click them to the bombard, but they had to run through a small opening full of hand cannons first. So I actually deleted a hole in my wall to try to get better access to the bombards. There's 2 more bombards. Cleared up this army, and he's calling the GG. He said God game, but I think he meant good game. I gave him the GG as well, and it's over. So that, I think, is the best way to handle the FIMP. Let them come in, but mask the response army and don't engage until you can take the fight. Thoroughly overwhelmed what he had, and then I think you really need to go back and immediately pounce on them. I didn't really have a way to get into his base for a while, and I messed around with trying to make pikemen, so that did slow it down. I did make the counterattack. Went back in. Got some damage. Honestly, not enough. And then his army came back out, pushed me back, pushed us all the way back to my base, and he came back inside only to find that I was had a fully boomed eco that was able to support a massive army that could clear his up. So good game. We'll see how this the stats went here. Um, he had more kills, 150 to 103. So for what that's worth, the hand cannons are strong. I was going with a trash unit, the skirmishers, so you kind of expect those to die, but they die efficiently, essentially. He had the buildings raised, which makes sense because he's got the bombards. He did convert one of the cavalier when I went into the base. I had the biggest army. It was probably there at the end. That was a nice sized army of skirms and cavalier. I definitely had the better eco. He mined more gold. Turks actually they have a bonus that allows them to mine gold faster, but he was using a lot of gold too. So I was using my cavalier were my only gold unit. And then the skirms and the pikes were my trash units. I didn't have a siege unit. I'm still in castle age, so yeah, I didn't have a siege unit. I did mine enough stone for a castle. He didn't bother with that. Didn't really need to. The Turks could get a tech in their castle that gives them extra range on their bombard cannons, extra 2 range, but you don't really need that in this kind of a push. The bombards are strong enough. Um, Despite all the shenanigans in Dark and Feudal Age, when I was trying to um, do my build, messing it up, I actually still had a decent castle time. So I guess this could have been probably 30 seconds better if I hadn't messed all that up. But I can't really complain. 23 minutes is not a bad imp time for a fast imp. But I obviously the slow feudal and slow castle really clued me into it. Aside from the fact he's Turks, villager high, so big difference here. That's how I was able to get much better economy. Um, so he was not able to keep up. And so that last army he lost, he probably didn't have enough to keep making. Plus, he was still open, so I could have just walked right back in. Um, yeah, so that's it. Good game.